Yes, my attempt at minimalist planning in a single pocket Filofax failed spectacularly. If you saw my last video, I outgrew my pocket Filofax. You know I officially abandoned the one planner system because my life just didn't fit in here anymore. So, today is part 2, how to actually make a multi-planner ecosystem sustainable. If you've ever felt the guilt of buying beautiful stationery, notebooks and diaries, only to leave them blank, you're not alone. But having a multi-planner ecosystem isn't actually the problem. The real issue is the out of sight, out of mind trap. To solve this, I built a Remembrall, a lazy 3-layer reminder system that keeps my functional planners and creative journals perfectly in sync and organized. I'll show you exactly how I categorize these into daily, weekly and monthly routines to create a sustainable organizational system. Hi everyone, so we're back with another video. Last week I have decided to split my Filofax Pocket Malden into multiple different areas. So what I originally had in here were my calendar pages. And then I had a bunch of pages for habit tracking, to-do lists and shopping lists. And I decided to take all of them out because I just had some issues with following what the planner was and just, I was just lazy to turn to the correct page. And so I decided that I will only have my calendar pages in here and regular daily planning that I'll have to do every single day. They're gonna stay in here. And then any emergency stuff, so like my tube map and my emergency numbers. And I have slotted in this mini composition notebook that is my brain dump. I put down any journaling that I do during the day, ideas that I can already flush out into a longer format. So even though I do have an inbox page at the very front of my planner, I am using those for like very quick ideas, and then the composition book comes in when I've got something longer to write during the day when I'm out and about. That's what survived here. Because my rendition of this minimalist one planner system sort of failed, I thought that we might want to reframe minimalism, because even in my one planner system, I wasn't really a minimalist. Like, I would have 1,000 sticky notes in here. I also decorate my pages quite a bit, which I wouldn't say is very minimalist. What I interpreted as minimalist is that I am using only one planner for organizing my entire life. I still think that it is going to be a minimalist system with the multi-planner ecosystem, because what I'm going to apply is what I call strategic minimalism. So every planner is deconstructed into a core function. So every planner is basically a minimalist planner that come together into a minimalist ecosystem. Or am I just justifying this now? But I don't know. But I do feel like it fits. But I don't think that having a multi-planner ecosystem is a problem. Like, I know a lot of people are struggling to keep track of everything, keep track of all the notebooks that they're trying to use on a regular basis. And yeah, it is difficult, and that's why I also thought that I'd like to have just one single system. But the actual problem might be just forgetfulness. So maybe we just need to mitigate that, and maybe that will make it so easy to follow a multi-planner ecosystem. I think the real issue is the out of sight, out of mind trap. And to solve this, I built a Remembrall. If you've seen Harry Potter, if you like Harry Potter, you remember that Neville in the first film got a Remembrall because he keeps forgetting things. It is like a ball where there's fog inside, and if the fog turns red, he knows that he's forgotten something. But the problem with that Remembrall is that it doesn't tell him what he's forgotten. So we're going to try a Remembrall 2.0 where we are going to build a basically foolproof system to remember to use my planners. So it's going to be a 3-layer reminder system that keeps my functional planners and my creative journals perfectly in sync and organized. And I'll show you exactly how I organize into daily, weekly, monthly routines to create a sustainable organizational system. And of course, as with everything else, I'm going to trial it for some time, and I'll probably check back in a few months to see whether it worked out, or if it didn't work out, if it didn't work out, why. But I'm very hopeful. I've never had a reminder system built into my planners. I always thought, well, the planners are the reminders themselves. So I should know, because the planner is here, I should open it up. But I know myself, I know how lazy I can be, and I know how it's difficult to just remember things. I find it difficult anyway, you might not. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna fish out all of the planners that I'm currently using, and I'll go through them, just skimming through them a little bit, just to show you what they are and what they're for. And if you want a more in-depth look into any of my notebooks or any of my planners, let me know in the comments, and I'm very happy to film a video just dedicated to one. Let's see what kind of planners I have. I have created a 2-way system. I have a pile of planners and notebooks for my everyday personal planning, and another pile as my creative outlet. So let me just open them up and then point each one of them out. Gosh, it's really difficult to fit everything in one frame, but this is most of my stuff now. Honestly, I don't think that I'm stopping. I need to be stopped. I didn't think I had a problem, but now that I opened them up and spread them all out here, I think I might have a problem. And these aren't even all of my notebooks. Yeah, there you go. So at the bottom down here, I don't know if you can even see that I'm pointing at it right there. This one. So that is my recipe book, and I do consider it a creative endeavor to cook. I'm still building it out, but I've got my home recipes in here that I learned from my mum mostly. And then I've got this one right here, that one. This notebook is where I keep my current book project. I was always interested in writing stories and writing books and things like that, but I never really sat down and thought about it in a serious way, that is an option at all for me to do. And I was like, well, why not? All I can do is give it a go, and if it's not that great, then it's not that great. If it's good, I might, try to publish it. I have been sitting on that though for a very long time. I need to work on it. At the moment, I don't have the time for it, so it's in the back burner. And then this one here, this beast, this is my commonplace book. And that's my index. So I've got story ideas in here, character name ideas, business ideas, lyric and wordplay ideas, painting ideas, quotes, inspiration, so like inspirational people, media, and so on that I like, questions, and things that I think I should do creatively. I do go at it every now and then when I've got an idea to put in here. I don't regularly work in this. I only ever open it if I've got an idea that would fit into either of these categories, or that I think would fit in the theme of these categories, but maybe under a new category. These are my sort of creative notebooks. There will be one more where I put the inserts with my more creative projects, like this one, the house renovation planning. The functional pile right here is supposed to keep my life together. I've got the notebook that I just shown you. This is going to be for budget planning. Then I've got this one right here, this one. This is my 9 to 5 work planner. Then I've got this one, which is my tracker notebook. Then I've got my Filofax. This is what's holding my personal life together. So I put anything and everything in here, any appointments, tests, payment schedules that I need to follow, some to-do lists, my underground map if I ever lose Wi-Fi or 5G connection, emergency contacts, things like that. So this is always on me. And then this is my newest addition to the team. This is a Hobonichi Weeks. And I managed to buy this at a discounted price because obviously this is the middle of the year and this is a 2026 planner. So in the beginning, I basically have a whole bunch and nothing. But I needed a new planner and this was small enough and cheap enough that I thought it'd be nice to have it. And this is my YouTube planner. So I used to have a creative planner and that was this one. That's now my budget planner. But I only ever wrote down like video ideas and structural ideas, but not like a schedule. So I never planned out when I'm going to upload something or when I'm going to film, when I'm going to edit, things like that. But I'm sort of going to plan out a little bit more of what I'm doing ahead of time. And I think this is going to help me immensely to stay on track. The creative pile is where I just like to dip in and out of whenever I want to, no pressure. And then this structural pile, functional planning pile, is what I'll be using regularly. Even though I'm now trialing a multiple planner ecosystem, I'm still very wary of adding new things because I mean, how many planners a person could need? It's a battle I will fight in the coming days because actually I was going to start yet another new notebook for a creative project this time, so that would go into my creative pile. But I just couldn't justify spending so much money on it. I wanted to get the small field notes, but I feel they're expensive. It was £18 for a pack of 3. I just couldn't justify paying £18 for the size and what it is. So now I'm on the hunt for something similar in size, but at a lower price point. The pages don't need to be premium for writing. That's a hint of what's to come. But I've got more notebooks that I know what to do with, but I will probably keep on buying planners. The main reason I originally wanted only one functional planner was because I just can't be trusted to use more than that. So if I have a multi-notebook system now, I need insurance that I don't forget to track and reset my system. So for this purpose, I'm creating a Remembrall, if you will. This Remembrall is my insurance policy. It's a reminder to actually do what I set out to do. So let us brainstorm this planning routine card, because this is going to be the psychological glue holding my forgetful brain accountable. Since I have multiple notebooks now, my biggest fear is forgetting that they exist. So this Remembrall isn't just a list, it's going to be a trigger. I need to explicitly write down when my brain is allowed to look at each book. If I don't build this specific habit checkpoint right at the front page, my brain will default to ignoring the other binders entirely. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put my Filofax aside, and I decided to use this sort of cream little ribbed paper. This is actually an envelope. I'm using this because it has sort of a structure, because this is going to be semi-permanent. I'm going to swap it out only when it's worn out. Let's see, I have put some brainstorming ideas into my content notebook, so let's see what they are. What I've written down, let me actually hold this like this. Okay, so my ideas are broken down into sections. Weekly, I've got migrating undone tasks from the last week. And then we've got collect loose notes from stickies, so sticky notes, brain dump notebook, phone notes, to-do tier list from loose notes collected, and task list. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to rethink how I do my to-do lists. I think I'll only use a separate to-do list for like long-term things. So the task list is going to be long-term lists. So for the to-do list tier system, I need loose sticky notes, the long-term lists, and my brain dump I would also need here. Okay, well, actually, I already did say that I'll collect the loose notes from stickies, brain dump, and phone notes. So the tier list will come from those loose notes collected and the long-term lists. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. We'll go with that. And then next one, we've got delegating to the calendar pages that can stay. And then we've got completing the habits planner. Then monthly, I've got resetting the planners, and that includes adding the inbox note swaps. And then I'll have to do my budgets. I'll have to add information onto my yearly fold-out planner. I'll have to check birthdays and add reminders. And then with my daily list, I've got my daily habits that will stay in my Filofax. I'll have a Filofax check. So I'm actively checking the calendars. So I have fallen into the trap before that I very nicely delegate all my things into my calendar slots, like ahead of time to plan. And then when the time comes, I'm not checking them. So even though I very nicely planned for them and put them down to paper, I still forget them. So I need that reminder to actually look at my Filofax. Then I've got the YouTube planner check. That's daily as well. Yeah, that's good. Oh, actually, and for the monthly, I did write a little arrow here. I almost missed it, even though, you see, I wrote an arrow and I tried to remind myself in my head to look at it before I go into the dailies, but, well, I just ignored it. I think this is a pretty comprehensive list for what I need right now. I'm sure that I will add to it as I use the system. All right, so I think I'm going to start with the dailies. All right, so I've got my Remembrall. So I'm gonna take these off by pencil. So at the end, I can just erase them and reuse this. So that's why I wanted a little bit more structure to this page, but maybe I need cardstock actually. I don't know, I'll see how this goes. And then if need be, I'll just redo it on a sturdier piece of paper. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add my Remembrall. I would want to put this here, but I do not want to cover up my lovely front design. Or should I even tuck it in? But you see, I'm worried that if I tuck it in, I'll just forget about it. Or maybe tuck it in like this. We need our Filofax, we need our Remembrall, and we need our reminders on our phones just to remember the Remembrall. Okay, so we're going to try a completely different thing. I'm using a Samsung currently. I'm sure it can be set up on an iPhone as well. There is this app called Modes and Routines. I did a test run and it worked, but we'll see if the finished product will work as well. So for the weekly planning, it was relatively straightforward. I just had to create the ifs. So the ifs were just a specific time. So I set it up for 1800 hours every week on Friday. And then the action that needed to be done is Spotify playlists. I created Spotify playlists for these 3 reminders. I've got my month-end planning, my start of month planning, and my weekly planning. That was that. This was the easy one. And then for the start of the month, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna go back into the calendars. We are selecting the next Sunday. We're gonna add start of month planning is going to be our title. I just set this up as an all day thing. The notification is going to be a custom one, and there's going to be on the day of the event at 10 a.m. And I don't need the day before the event, so I'll just get rid of that. At the repeat spot, I'm going to repeat it every 1 month, and it's going to be repeat on the last Sunday of every month. And I'll just keep it on forever. If I want to get rid of it, I'll just get rid of it. So then I'll go back into my modes and routines, and then I'll hit new one. So the if, add what triggers this routine, and it's going to be notification received. So the apps, the calendar, and then it's going to be notification with specific keyword. Start of month planning. Okay, and then I need music, the first one, and then Spotify playlists, and then I have my start of month planning. I'll rename this start of month planning. Excuse me. I'll just change the color to, let's say, this one. I'll change the icon to this. And that's done. So now I've got all 3 of my notifications. I've got one for the weekly planning, I've got one for the month-end planning, and one for the start of month planning. And so it's going to be hopefully not annoying. I really didn't want to add alarms where my wake-up alarms are because they're quite aggressive. So I decided to go this route, and hopefully this will be a more sort of gentle reminder. Just to recap, we've got 3 reminder systems. The backbone is our planners and calendars, the physical ones, and then the second one is our Remembrall, and then the third one is our digital reminders. These 3 should now make me remember to use my calendars and use all of my planners. So I think there are no rules in planning really. You just need to figure out what's working for you the best. Look at other people, how they're doing it, and take whatever sounds good for your specific system. Pick and choose, create something that is completely bespoke, that's completely tailored to your needs. And that process could take some time. But it doesn't mean that in the meantime you can't do anything, or in the meantime you're not organized enough, or you're not doing it right. It's sort of an evolution, and you're still getting things done, just maybe not as optimized as maybe a month from now or 2 months from now. Find out what works for you, stick to it, improve upon it, and it's going to just be fine. You don't have to sit down with all your planners every single day or even every single week or every single month. There's no rule. I'm only looking at my Filofax every day. Maybe not even that. I did put daily stuff in here, but I'm not too rigid about them. It's just, you know, finding the balance. The most important parts for my specific scenario are the weekly and monthly ones, because those are the ones that I genuinely forget about. You've got your planners that you look at daily, you look at weekly, look at monthly on an ad hoc basis. You don't have to use all of your planners all of the time. And I think that removes quite a lot of friction that people experience with a multi-planner ecosystem. So for example, let's say I've got some mood trackers. I'm not too bothered by using this every single day, but if you are, you could remove this specific one from your habit tracking notebook and put it back into your everyday notebook. You don't have to rigidly divide everything into certain functions, like trackers only in here, calendars are only in here. Do whatever combination works best for your lifestyle. The more flexible your system is, I think the more likely you're going to be using it and the more likely you're going to enjoy using it. I hope you liked it and I hope you found some value in it, and I hope that you may be able to lift some ideas out of it to add to your own planning system or to your own planner. Let me know if you'd like to have a deeper dive into any of my notebooks that we've discussed in this video. I hope you enjoyed it and I'll see you next time.